changed my whole life. I was supposed to be in Haiti for 2 weeks, 2 to 4 weeks was what I was supposed to be in Haiti for. And I ended up living there for 5 years.
Oh,
And then going back and forth, every 6 weeks for the last 15 years. Because it changed my whole life. Being around the women of Haiti and understanding, when you really put your mind to something and you like find purpose.
this episode of Grounded in Maine is sponsored by ESG Review. ESG Review magazine is published quarterly in February, May, August, and November, and is available for free in print and digital formats. ESG Review is devoted to environmental, social, and governance strategies, technologies, and investments. ESGreview.net is updated every Wednesday with 8 new stories and is home to feature articles, news items, and more. Visit esgreview.net to stay informed and help us spark the collaboration and awareness needed to develop sustainable economies and communities around the world.
There's a place where there's no trouble, no more pain, no more struggle.
Grounded in Maine podcast is an open conversation about how we show up for the world. I started this podcast out of a desire to learn new ways to be sustainable because the word sustainability is big. It can be overwhelming, and I just wanted to learn, different ways to try to be part of the solution and not feel like it's too late. So I'm talking to people who are doing different things and learning so much. I hope you are too. Hi there. Thank you so much for listening to Grounded in Maine today. My name is Amy, and my guest today is Julie Colombino-Billingham. Sorry,
Yeah,
I messed it up already.
you got
Um, and we are talking about sustainable fashion. So Julie produces leather bags and accessories, which, if you are interested in that, please check it out because they are beautiful bags. So Julie, thank you so much for being here. I'm going to have you say the name of your company because you speak French and I do not.
Yeah, no, it's a tricky one. The company is called Deux Mains, and it means two hands in Creole.
Because it's a Haitian
Yep, Haitian
Haitian
brand.
made.
Yep,
Okay. And so tell me about Deux Mains.
you did it. It's
Oh,
perfect. Perfect.
I was practicing in my head. And you just said it, of course.
Yeah, no, it was perfect.
So tell us about your company.
Well, we've been around for 15 years. I was in a former life a disaster responder, and so I don't know if you remember the 2010 earthquake that hit Haiti, but I responded to that and landed in Haiti 10 days after the earthquake hit. And of course, was consumed by the devastation and just doing what we always do, distributing bottles of water and tents and doing logistics and just doing the immediate things that have to happen after disaster strikes. But Haiti was just very different than any other disaster zone I'd ever been in. And the people were so incredible and resilient and strong. And literally one day, it was about 3 months into my deployment, a woman came up to me and said, "Hey, white lady, I don't want any water, but I need a job." And it kind of like struck me really hard that, it was like that aha moment where I was like, wait, what are we doing? Because not only was Haiti, struck with this horrific earthquake, but also the poverty that was consumed by it, for so long, and I just decided that day. I mean, I'd kind of already been realizing like I wanted to do something different than disaster response. I wanted to focus on long-term development. And the women of Haiti just helped me like come to that realization. And so together we built this fashion brand. We built a factory that's right in the middle of Port-au-Prince. It's solar powered. We responsibly source all of our materials. We decided if we were going to build a company, we wanted to do anything that we could to be kind to people and to the planet. And so, our first value is definitely creating good jobs, creating careers for Haitian people and craftspeople. But then it's also protecting the planet any way we can and changing the way that, manufacturing is really looked at.
That's amazing. Oh my gosh. And I'm sure, during that period of distress, that the having that feeling of purpose must have made such a big difference. Like
Oh yeah.
something to be something to look forward to, something to be productive and 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 money.
Yeah, I mean, it changed my whole life. I was supposed to be in Haiti for 2 weeks, 2 to 4 weeks was what I was supposed to be in Haiti for, and I ended up living there for 5 years,
Oh,
and then going back and forth, every 6 weeks for the last 15 years, because it changed my whole life. Being around the women of Haiti and understanding, when you really put your mind to something and you like find purpose in something and realizing like not only were we making an impact in Haiti, but we were offering consumers a way to buy responsibly and have a product that was beautiful and that um, you know that allowed their purchase to really make a difference in this fashion world where everybody talks about fast fashion and consumerism. And it's, I always say, we're in the belly of the beast. We have to fight everything in fashion, and so that's what we do every day. We just try to fight not only the hardships of manufacturing in Haiti, but the hardships of being in the fashion industry where everything is consumable.
right.
And and it's just it's a rough one, but we're in the challenge, we're in the fight.
Well, and your team, which is that's
Yep.
amazing. I mean, because I know you
Yep.
were saying when you said when you said we, or when we were talking before we started recording, I was like, who's we? And you said my
Oh
team.
yeah. Yeah, it's the
Duh.
team. Yeah. We've been a team of we started with a team of 4 women in 2010, and now we're a small little army of 50.
That's that's a nice big number.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And so, I mean, and these are women.
Mostly, yeah. We
Mostly
employ
women.
both women and men, but the leadership team is almost all women, and it's just I naturally connected with women in the early days, and most people that we started working with 15 years ago still work today, and so it just kind of works that way. And
That's
women are
amazing.
just pretty awesome,
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I just I'm just imagining what it how I would feel, I think, if I were in that situation, and even being a woman and like you're like the homemaker or whatever, and and then all of this happens and somebody offers a job, and whether it be a man or a woman, like you want to take that job, it sounds like a life-changing opportunity for so many people. And I love the feeling of independence that must have brought.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was really like economic freedom is everything, right? So like when a disaster strikes, there's a time to give things away and there's a time to be charitable and there's a time to receive things if you're like the victim. But nobody wants to be the recipient of charity for a long period of time. Nobody wants that.
Right, right.
Everybody wants to feel independent. Everybody wants to be economically free. Everybody wants to be able to care for their families. And what we found in Haiti, there's just so few opportunities that existed even before the earthquake.
Mhm.
So it was just so important because people kept saying to me, why do business in one of the hardest countries in the I mean, it is the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere. I'm sure many of the listeners, you may have heard Haiti referred to that, and it's very, very challenging. But also, like, amid that
All the more
challenge,
reason.
yes, yeah.
Yeah. Um, that's amazing. So I'm curious why you chose bags.
Mm. Well, to be honest, it wasn't my first choice. I lived in Africa years before this, and I had seen in Africa people making sandals out of recycled tires. And I saw it. Think I probably even purchased them. It was just kind of a thing that people were doing in Malawi. And then when Haiti happened and this lady said she wanted a job, and I said, okay, I want to start a business, and I didn't know what to do. Well, a lot of people lost their shoes in the earthquake. I mean, they lost everything. And so we thought, okay, well, why don't we mimic this product, take the inspiration from Africa and make sandals in Haiti so like people have footwear can protect their feet.
Sure.
And so that was our first product, and it was like our only product for about 5 years. And we made these incredible sandals made from recycled tires. And I thought, okay, if we can refine the upper and make it a little more fashionable, we can start exporting them. And this is, kind of how our business started. And then over the years, people would come in and out of our space. And there was one young woman who came in and she said, wow, you have a little bit of waste leather here. Why don't you make earrings? Why don't you make these? Why don't you do this? And so these ideas started to develop. until eventually we were making all these amazing leather goods. And we met a really talented artisan, Michel, who was a handbag maker. And he just kind of revolutionized. So it was like as people came into the company, they just offered their skills and expertise and changed our line of business. And so much so that handbags just took over. And I mean, now our handbags are being sold at Nordstrom, and so it's like it's like kind of changed everything. So that's really what we focused on now is the handbags. And then instead of making sandals, we make school shoes for Haitian children. So we wanted to make a product locally, and we've made and distributed thousands and thousands of pairs of school shoes for Haitian children because they wear uniforms in Haiti, and the school shoe is part of the uniform. So they're really cute, appropriate, like Haitian appropriate leather shoes for Haitian kids. And so we have these two lines of business, but for export and for like global consumption, we make the handbags and smaller goods.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
And I love that the idea of using the scraps, like scrap leather to make other, earrings or whatever. I mean, I didn't notice like a quilted pattern.
Yeah, we're not a zero waste company, so we do still have waste. Because we use what's called dead stock leather. A lot of people haven't heard that term before, but it's like I can give an example. So like if a brand like Michael Kors or something orders 10,000 square feet of leather and they only use 8,000 square feet, that 2,000 square feet will either be burned or thrown away or sold to what they call jobbers. And so we buy those excess, so they're beautiful, wonderfully made leathers,
Right.
but we don't get a lot of it. So so things are always changing for us. So that's why we say it's responsibly sourced leather. But we are looking into, how to be a zero waste company, how to make sure we have no waste, but we haven't come up with those designs yet. So stand by, Amy.
Well, hey, I mean, it's still a newish company. So
yeah.
You're working with what you can. And I think that's incredible. I know. And I mean, and really you guys check out the website because these bags are, Nordstrom, they're beautiful bags.
Thank you.
And so let's see. So these are made in Haiti. You had a message that you, well, maybe, so let's see. You wrote a memoir.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to talk about that a little bit? And then we can talk about the other message that I was about to blow.
Sure. The memoir, it's called From Lost to Legacy, How a Fashion Business Rose from Haiti's Rubble. And it took me 15 years to write. I mean, it started as the journals that I was keeping in Haiti, like right after the earthquake. And a few years into our company, people started saying, like, I was speaking a lot at universities and talking to, social entrepreneurs. And I thought, we should write a textbook of all the mistakes we've made in building this business to maybe help young people who want to, go into the developing world or interested in sustainability, interested in any of these things that, employing mostly women, whatever it was, thought, write this book, this textbook of all the mistakes and how to avoid them. Mm-hmm. And so I was kind of doing that for a few years. And then as I was getting older, as I was having more life experiences as a woman entrepreneur, as a foreign woman in Haiti, as a newly married woman, all the things that were happening to me in my life, it just kind of, it all just kind of started coming in. And then when, it finally got time to, meet with a publisher, they're like, oh, this is a memoir. This is not a textbook. So like we have to change it. So I tried to, keep in all the mistakes that we made and really share I think when building a business, in building our business, there were more downs than ups, more lows than highs. And so just trying to stay really honest about that. And then also I interviewed about 50 people because building this brand, it took, so many of like my Haitian colleagues, so many volunteers, so many colleagues that I had that, came in and out of the States. But most importantly, my Haitian colleagues, some of them don't speak English, so they don't ever have a chance to tell their story. Mm-hmm. So I wanted their stories to be published as well because they are so incredible. I mean, each person that I work with has a story. And I'm sure, every person on this planet has a story, but I have been honored to get to hear those of, my colleagues in Haiti. And I just wanted those to be, shared with the world because they're so beautiful and inspiring.
Oh my gosh, I love that. And I just love that. So this must have just come out.
It did actually. So we had a launch party in London yesterday. And so
Oh,
that's so we
you were
launched.
in London.
That's I was in London. So launched the book. Actually, wait, the launch was on Tuesday, flew on Wednesday, and then our launch party in America in the United States is tomorrow.
Oh my
So
gosh.
yeah, the book is brand new, just came out. But yeah, it's been really exciting. It really was a labor of love, and just so glad that we finally get a chance to tell our story. And we hope that we can just maybe inspire other people who are interested in this line of work or in any of these topics that we go into, and just
Yeah.
make more friends along the way.
Oh my gosh. So I love so much that this all started because you were in disaster response.
Yeah.
Um, and how long were you doing that job? Because you were in
Um,
Africa before.
Yeah, I was doing disaster response probably for about 7 years, and so I was my biggest disaster before Haiti was Katrina, and so I worked in DC at the Red Cross for the first year, and then I was deployed and lived there for about 14 months, and it's just disaster work is really crazy, and I feel like I'm really crazy, and that's why I in that chaos I thrived, so but now all these years later, I could never imagine doing that work again, and I'm so grateful for people who do it because it is super intense.
Mm.
But my calling, I realized, was to the focus on long-term development and economic freedom for people, and that is through job creation. And you can't do that as a disaster responder, but you can do that as a business owner.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So so you were doing that for 7 years
Mhm.
and Haiti was your last one because then you were
Mhm.
like, no, I'm
I'm staying.
this is not what I need to be doing. This is what I need to be doing.
Yep.
Okay. That's so impressive. I mean, after 7 years doing all of this stuff, you were touched so much by these people that you were like, we need to, we have goals. There are things that we need to do together. And I think that's incredible. So, the 15 years you've been in this business with them, you've been also documenting and oh, gosh, that's incredible. So tell me the name of the book again. I know it's From Lost to Legacy.
How a fashion how what is the name of the book? From Lost to Legacy: How a Fashion Business Rose from Haiti's Rubble.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh my gosh. Okay. And so and so from that, like doing disaster response, meeting these people, realizing that there's something bigger that you need to do. Um, you built this business with them, and then so the message that I picked up from your guest form and what you had suggested, one of was the power of your purchase.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
and
I
so
mean,
that's why I think, understanding the backstory is so important.
totally. And that is kind of the cool thing about being a consumer. So if you are somebody who is fortunate enough to buy clothes and bags and wallets and these things, I mean, your purchase could literally change the lives of hundreds of people that you have no idea about. And the fast fashion industry is one of the largest industries in the world. Is $1 trillion industry. There's more slaves in fashion than in any other industry. I think that's true. Don't quote me on that one. But I think it's um,
Yeah.
one of the most
Yeah, right.
toxic industries for sure. And so, we're small, but I always say, like, we're in the belly of the beast and we have to just keep going. And with every bag we sell, we are, changing not only the life of artisans and craftspeople in Haiti, but the purchaser. That person now is part of this bigger ethos of how you want to live your life and what you want to support and what you want your dollars, like I think you said earlier, what you want your dollars to vote for.
Mhm.
And if it's for a better world, for a more sustainable world, for better job creation, then that's what you're a part of, and that's
Mhm.
kind of amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I say the same thing about farmers all the time. Like, vote with
Yes,
your dollars and take care of those
yes,
who feed you.
yes,
But I just think it's it's a it's a statement
yeah.
when you are purchasing something from someone who, this is going to change their life.
Hmm. It's
And
true.
so I'm a big fan of that. I just think that's I just think that's wonderful. And there are so many, there are like posts and memes and stuff about, when you shop small, the business owner does like a little dance, or you know, you're making a difference in their life. Whereas, if you're buying from fast fashion or whatever, like they will never know. They
Yeah.
won't notice. They won't notice if you don't buy, um,
Yeah.
unless everyone doesn't buy.
Yeah, and that could you imagine a world one day when, fast fashion doesn't exist and these like huge corporations that, pay people pennies on the dollar for their hard work and, and succumb to child labor and all these terrible things that happen in the fashion industry, if they no longer existed, what the world would look like. It'd be quite amazing, I think.
Yeah, it really would. And I have not been really paying attention to the news about like tariffs and stuff. So are the tariffs affecting Haiti right now?
They sure are. Unfortunately, Haiti used to be part of what was called the Help To Act, and that was put in place to help Haitian businesses, export to the U.S. And so we were actually duty free before the Trump tariffs. And so now, just like everyone else, we pay a 10% tariff, which doesn't seem like a lot, but when it adds up quickly. And we tried really hard not to. We are a fair trade brand. We're fair trade verified, and we like to think of ourselves as one of the most affordable fair trade brands because it's leather, because it's handmade, because it's all these things, woven leather. People say, like, oh, it looks like a Bottega Veneta bag, and you're like, oh, well, there's our 3,000, ours are 150. So I mean, still, it's still an expensive purchase, but comparatively,
Right.
we tried to be lower priced just because we want people to experience fair trade. We want people to experience the brand, but at the same, time, we still have to cover our costs, pay our people well, and now,
Right.
also the cost of the tariffs have added. So yeah, unfortunately, it got us good.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I got lots of people good.
Yeah, yeah.
I was just curious because I didn't know how far that, I didn't know if it was everyone across the board and if it was just different I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
follow.
and the
I
Help
know
to
there are
Act,
tariffs, but
I mean, the Help to Act was supposed to be into law until September of 2026, where it was going to be reevaluated, and that it still was sliced, and we still got charged tariffs. So
yeah, that sounds about right.
yeah,
That's par.
yeah,
That's par for this year.
yeah.
Oh my goodness. Um, so I mean, I love that. I'm not going to say it this time, but the name of the company means two hands.
Yeah.
I just think that's so meaningful, and just so many things about, your purpose. And um okay, I do want to know how you got into disaster response. I'm
Oh,
just
wow.
curious, like, was that like your first job, or was that like something that you had worked toward?
No one's ever really asked me that before. I have a master's in nonprofit management, so I've always worked for nonprofits.
Okay.
There was in school there was this like an undergraduate or study of focus on disaster response, and yeah, I just in the nonprofit world, I think they just kind of like went hand in hand, and I kind of like was good at that, and so then yeah, I made it a full focus to work on disaster response. But yeah, I don't know, I have to think about that one. I don't know how I like really got into it, but I guess I just thrive in chaos.
Well, I mean, it came from the nonprofit um,
Yeah,
degree and the studies. Okay.
yeah.
I did not, I'm always curious about stuff like that because I know, even just like thinking about disaster response in our own lives, like
Mhm.
if I were to come up against a bear, this is not like
Yeah.
anything like what you were dealing with, but like if I were to come up against a bear, people are like, oh, people say, well, if it's this kind of bear, I'm like, I'm not gonna wait and find out. Can I ask the bear? Like, are you a nice bear?
But
Uh,
or anything like a house fire. I mean, I mean, even though, or, somebody choking, there are disasters all around us all the time. And, now that we're talking about that, I think that is kind of how I started taking classes like on CPR. And I wanted to be able to be effective if I was ever in a situation like that. And I think it kind of spurred from there.
sure. I mean, learning all those things, you're like, hmm,
Yeah.
what would I
Yeah. Like,
do?
yeah. I surely would like to, be in the know if I do come up against a bear or or see a kid choking.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Well, and thank goodness for that. Um,
Mhm.
and I'm so glad that you were doing the response when you were. I mean, so you were, did you go anywhere else? So you did Katrina and you were in Africa?
I worked in Africa a lot, and then and then it was Haiti. Yeah. So I didn't respond, I don't have a didn't have a ton under my belt, but the experiences were pretty pervasive. And what you see on TV is like, maybe for 2 weeks or 2 months, about a disaster, but they last
14
years.
months. You said
Yeah.
14 months in for Katrina?
Yeah. But then, I mean, even behind the scenes, going back into the office, you still are working on things, to, try to help communities rebuild. It takes years and years for
Yeah.
communities to rebuild after that kind of disaster. So
Yeah. I mean, 2 weeks is not like,
yeah, it's nothing.
I mean, when there's like destruction, that just like 2 weeks, oh, all better. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean that's a big commitment. I mean 14 months and plus the follow up and taking care of things in the office and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But and so you said you were there 5 years in Haiti?
Yeah, I left in 2015 to come back to the States to try to focus on like getting investment for our company, sales, building the brand, and then would just go in and out to help with design, get the Haitian team, all ready. I mean, we don't live in Haiti at all anymore, so it's completely Haitian run. But it took some time and preparation to get everybody where they needed to be. So yeah, but that's where we are now.
Wow. I love it. I love it so much.
Yeah.
Um, is there a most popular bag? I mean, I know you've got some that are on in Nordstrom, but like, what's your most
Yeah. So
popular bag?
the number one Nordstrom bag is the woven crossbody bag. It is an amazing bag and it doubles as a clutch. And so it's got a really long, thin crossbody strap and it's a woven front panel and a plain leather backing. Super cool inside. It has like a dual like compartments because it has this like zipper
Mm.
compartment in the center. But then on our website, for like the Deux Mains customer, it's the saddle shoulder bag, which is just kind of like a baguette bag, just kind of like the under the shoulder bag. And that's our number one selling bag. So those are kind of our most popular. Um, but then we've just launched, we have this satchel shoulder bag, which is really cool. So we're part of not only Fair Trade, the Fair Trade Federation, but we're also part of the Museum Store Association. And we sell to a lot of museums, which is really fun. And our bowler bag is pretty much the best seller for the museums.
Wow, a bowler
Yeah.
bag.
It's called the Satchel Bowler Bag, and it's this really, really interesting design. And I love the history of fashion. And so the bowler bag is like it's a really long bag. It's almost kind of like a weird shape. And I found out that that shape was inspired by during the war when women started going to work. They wanted a bag to put their knitting needles in. So they created this bag that had this like long, kind of strange shape, but your knitting needles fit into it. So we took that inspiration and then added like our Haitian flair with the weave and the different color combinations. And Michelle, our lead handbag artisan, like just kind of like made, like zhuzhed it up. And then we came up with the satchel bowler bag. And it really is kind of like a showstopper.
So they were probably knitting sweaters and socks and stuff on their lunch breaks.
Yeah.
Multitasking.
That's women for you.
That- That's awesome. I'll have to check those out and try it,
Yeah.
see if I can. I know there was one that was sort of like had almost it was like a half moon shape almost.
That's the
That's
number
the
one
bowler.
seller. Yeah, no, that's the saddlebag. That's the number one
Oh,
seller.
okay.
Yeah, like
Okay.
half moon. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. And so so you said your team is mostly women.
Hmm.
And you clearly have a manager over there, like
Uh-huh.
who's like running the show. And then is it like seamstresses and I mean how many jobs are there? I mean, I know there's 50 people.
Yep. Yep. And there's probably like, for management, operations manager, HR, like all those, admin positions that you have. And then the team is kind of divided into our shoemaking team. So the team that makes school shoes for Haitian children is about half the staff, and the other half is the artisan handbag designers. So, there's some seamstresses, some, just craftspeople. I mean, there's all kinds of talent on the team. And so it's not a factory assembly line the same way that you would imagine it when you see like the images of, we're not mass manufactured, we are handmade. So there's just a lot of craftsmanship that goes into everything that we do.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah.
And so the shoes they're just donated, like given away, right?
We sell them
as
to
well.
missions. Yeah, we sell them to missions and NGOs. So usually like organizations, about 80% of Haitian school children are sponsored by missions, churches, and NGOs, nonprofit organizations. And a lot of those organizations used to bring in old used sneakers and sandals from the United States and give them away to Haitian kids. The problem is those shoes are not appropriate for the school uniform. A lot of times don't fit. They're not appropriate for the weather. All sorts of, and also they're secondhand. Sometimes they were a lot of garbage that was brought into the country. And we believe that every Haitian child is deserving and valuable enough for their own pair of brand new school shoes. So we've worked with missions and NGOs and churches to try to help them, diversify their budgets, look at what can they do, what can they buy in country, support the local economy, ensure the children have brand new school shoes made just for them, that fit them, that are appropriate. And so we've been really lucky that we've converted a lot of organizations to change the way that they think. And that is part of our sustainability mission, is buying locally in Haiti, making sure that every intentional thing that you do in that country fights for the economic freedom of Haitian people and the dignity of Haitian people. And that's something that, has not always been the focus in the missions and in the charity world, so we're really hopeful to change that narrative.
Oh my gosh. I love that so much.
Thanks.
I just think everything about this is it's just so wonderful, and it's so empowering for the people of Haiti. And I mean, thank goodness for you, Julie. I mean, you just happen to be at the right place in the right time, and you've
honestly, they taught me everything. They taught me all of this, and I became the kind of woman I wanted to be when I was around the people of Haiti, because their strength, their compassion, their community, their sense of community. I remember one time we were having this particularly really hard month. I think it was 2014, and it was like, I mean, you couldn't believe the things that would happen. We had a flood because we were in this basin in Port-au-Prince, and like so much, we like lost all this raw material. A few days later, we had a fire. It's like you have a flood and a fire the same week. And then what happened? Our generator got stolen. I think I got malaria. Like it was just like hit after hit after hit after hit. And I went over and I went to one of my colleagues, Jolena, and I like sat on her lap, and I was like, I can't do it anymore, blah, blah, blah. And she took her two thumbs and wiped the tears from my eyes. And she goes, okay, Julie, anale, let's go back to work. And that was it. It was like, let me cry for about 30 seconds. And then was like, enough, get up, let's go back to work. Yeah. And that is the spirit, of the Haitian people. And that was like, I want to be a part of that, you know?
Well, I guess that makes sense. How long were you there when that first woman said, I don't need water, I need a job? Like,
I think it was a few months. I'd been there a few months, and so it was like
that's
even like a few months after the earthquake, everyone needed water. Like I know she needed water, but she would not she was like, no, I want a job. And it was like, wow, mind blowing.
Wow. Oh my gosh. I don't think I could love this more. I just everything about it is just it's just so powerful. I love that, from Rubble to legacy. I mean, really. So what does the word sustainability mean to you, Julie? I mean, with all that you've seen.
For me, honestly, when I think about sustainability, I know usually people think about, the environmental aspects of sustainability, but for me, it's the sustainable job creation, making sure that like my team and myself have a job to go to every day. And so for the past 15 years, it has been that struggle of making sure we sustain these jobs and grow more jobs and sustain them. And, this isn't about like piecemeal, like our team get paid checks every 2 weeks, have health insurance, have maternity and paternity leave, and paid vacation, and all of those things that create, what I like to say, sustainable communities, because people are financially free. And so that's really what sustainability means to me. And that's why with every bag we sell, it becomes part of that narrative. And so if people listening want to do any last minute Christmas shopping, or buy for themselves, or whenever they have a special birthday gift to get, think of Deux Mains, because those purchases matter. And also you get to give something that really has a ton of meaning. And I think that that's really fun, especially around holiday times.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I'm down with that explanation for sure. I mean, I've heard it all.
Sure you have.
126 episodes. Um, but this is it's particularly meaningful. I think, jobs are they make so much difference right now. I mean,
Mhm.
everything is so chaotic and so uncertain, and so to have something to, I keep coming back to purpose.
Yeah.
But like something to make you feel like you have worth, and something that gives you something to look forward to, is it's right now, it just feels like it's everything. And money.
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone needs money.
Yeah, everyone needs money. Okay, so how can people find you? And oh my goodness, the book is out tomorrow. So this is December 11th, so December 12th in the
Well,
US.
it's actually already out, believe it or not. It's so weird how they do this. I never knew this until I became an author, but the
Oh,
book is actually available. So you can get it on
okay.
Amazon or on the Deux Mains website. It's just the launch parties happen after. It's really, really strange. So
Okay.
yeah, want to follow us, Deux Mains, it's DEUXMAINS.com. Visit us, visit our website. You can watch really cool videos, you can shop our products, you can do all sorts of things on the website. People can follow us on Instagram. We're at Deux Mains _official. I would just love to meet new people, hear what people think of the products, what they think of the brand. We are an open book. We love to learn and love to hear what people are thinking. So yeah, connect with us for sure.
Awesome. Oh my gosh. Well, congrats on the book, and
Thank you.
congrats on the business. This is I need to look at everything again and just see if there's anything that I can help with.
Thank you. Thank
But Julie, thank you so much for being here. I so appreciate this, and I appreciate all that you've done for, and that you guys have all done for each other. You've created this community, you've created this business, you're making these products. Um, I think, community is so important, and I'm glad that you found that there, and that they, had the chance to connect with you, and together you guys have created this beautiful thing.
Well, I appreciate you, because it doesn't matter, I don't need any more handbags. We need other people to know about what we do. So thank you for giving us the opportunity to share the story.
Absolutely. All right. So Julie, Julie Colombino-Billingham and De May.
You got it.
I should probably learn French someday. But
No, you got
check it out, you guys, on Instagram. And are you on Facebook also?
it.
Or
Yeah,
yeah.
Deux same thing.
Okay. And look for the book, Memoir from Loss to Legacy. I just want to take a second to thank my guest again for speaking with me and sharing such great information. I love having these conversations with folks. I also want to thank Buzzsprout for hosting the podcast, for Jane Bolduck and her music genius, for Becca Coffron and her award-winning artwork. And thank you for listening. I appreciate that so much. Please check out the show notes for any links and extra information. And if you would like to follow my guest and find out more about them, I'm sure they would love the follow. And if you don't mind leaving a rating or review wherever you're listening, and just help to get this podcast in front of new eyes, that would be amazing. I would really love that. And feel free to reach out to me on the socials and let me know what you're thinking. And if you would like to be a guest on the podcast, please let me know that. I would love to have a conversation with you about sustainability. All right. Thank you again. I hope you have a great rest of the week.
There'll come a day, my mama told me, when I find love to have and hold me, a heart that's strong and so sincere. Just tell me, how do I get there from here? Oh, tell me, sickness, will heal the hate with sweet forgiveness. Wages of war will disappear. Just tell me, how do I get there from here? I wonder, how do I get there from here? Yeah, 'cause here now I'm so far down, and mercy's bound to find me. When that state of grace has finally found me, will there be music, ooh, and good friends around me? Yeah, yeah. And I'll just smile through happy tears and wonder,